next one, we need to attach the waterfall first before we carry on with anything else. So we're going to create this fake waterfall envelope kind of goodie. Right, so this you need piece 16, 17A, B, C, and piece 15. So it's better like the 15, 16, 17, A, B, and C. Right. This piece we know is going to go in like that, and this is going to become the flap. So I'm going to attach those two pieces first. So we're going to attach the flap, which is number 16, to the side of 15. Like that. Okay. Then this is going to be the closure for the waterfall album. So now we need to attach piece A. It is going to be attached flush against the side. I'd like to turn my little goodie in to attach the first one. Right. So again, flush against the top, flush against the side. Get it as straight as you possibly can. Make sure everything is nice and straight before you start to stick it. Mine is not. Go again. Better. There we go. Straight top and bottom. Right. You can burnish that in place. Then the next piece is going to attach, all right, flush against that 1 centimeter mark to be able to create that waterfall effect. Okay, if you are unsure, I will draw a line, measure your 1 centimeter, and you can draw a little line here if you need to, or you could just place your ruler. And then piece 17B needs to attach flush against that. Okay, but if you have measured and scored correctly, everything should be perfect, and you can then use this join here as your guide. So that is what I'm going to do. I line it up at the top, I line it up at the bottom, and I bump it up against that piece on the end like that, your cut line. Okay, there's that one in. Give it a good burnish, and we'll do the same with piece 17C. Remove your backing. You're going to bump it up against that cut line. Make sure that it lines up at the top and the bottom. If you're happy, let it go. Here we go. Right, so then that becomes the closure for this, like that, and this flap is what we will use to attach it to the front of page 3. I'd like to center it again, so I think about 4.5 from the top would be a good place. So this piece is going to go in over here like that. You could have it go down further down if you want to. It's entirely up to you. I think the middle is a good place for it, right? You're going to attach this flap about 1 mil away from your score line. Again, remember there's quite a bit of bulk here. So if you don't give it space, this is not going to be able to turn. It's going to get stuck. So about 1 mil away from your score line. And remember, once you start to put tape on, all these little things will be hidden. Okay, so that this then opens up comfortably. So when you open your page, it will lay flat instead of this getting stuck and forcing your page up. Okay, so for the front of page 3, so your waterfall is attached. We can put that to the side. And then for the front of page 3, you will need the pieces 19 and 18. So 18 is your pocket, and then 19. So this time, instead of attaching the pocket to the outside, we're going to attach the pocket to the inside. Right. So remember, I like to create the pocket first. Check that it's going to fit in comfortably. Yes, it will. And we can then attach. Doesn't want to come off. Here. And the other side. Right. So again, we are going to attach it about 1 millimeter away from the score line of the waterfall pocket. Not a mil, half a mil away from the score line of the waterfall pocket. Make sure that the pocket is going to close. All looks good. And we can then start to burnish everything in place. So it lines up nicely at the top and the bottom of the page. Everything nice and neat. Then this one, your number 19, is going to slide in to your pocket to create another flap. So we have an open pocket. We'll open this up and we'll have nice embellishments place. So again, remove the tape backing of number 19. You're going to slide it into the pocket. Make sure it fits in nicely. You want to be sure that it's about half a mil away from the score line, that the pocket is half a mil away from the score line, and then that's going to fold in nicely like that. Then what happens is that your waterfall pocket then acts as the closure. And again, once there's some weight on it, it will hold everything down. If you would prefer for it not to flap too much, my suggestion is that you actually add a magnet either there or here to keep it in place. I generally don't add the magnets. I use the weight of the paper or even a paper clip. You could even, once you finish embellishing, pop a little paper clip and decorate it to hold it in place. Entirely up to you. Okay. Again, you can round these corners now or you can do it later. Right. So let me just help this stay so that it doesn't move too much like that. We'll just put this one first because I need. Right. So then this becomes a flap. In my example, I have made little tabs and things like that. Those are all things you can add once you start to embellish. Right, so the back of page 3. Album's starting to fill up nicely now. Some of these paper clips can actually start to come out. Right, for the back of page 3, we are going to need the pieces 22, 20 and 21, and basically we're just going to do a repeat of the first page. The only thing I've done differently is that I cut this little piece, this flap, smaller. Right, so we already know how to do that. So I get this out. The paper clips are adding a bit of bulk, so it makes it hard for me to work. There we go. So, there we go. Right, so this one, we already know one is going to go here. Number, let's see, 20, 21, and 22. 22 is going to attach to this one, so let's do that first. And again, it needs to attach to the outside, so it needs to go on like that. I'm going to center it again, so it is again 2.5 centimeters from the top. So you're going to attach piece 22 to piece 21. Right, yeah. So again, oops, easier this way around. Slide your goodie in so that your bottom piece attaches about 1/2 mil away from the score line, in line with the mark that you made, your 2 centimeter mark of where it needs to attach, right? And then these attach 2.5 centimeters from the top. We'll attach the one first and then line the other one up. So we're going to attach page number 20 first. It's going to line up like that. Here's where my white piece of paper comes in handy. I can see where to line it up, right? I think I lied. I think it needs to be 2 centimeters from the top. Yep, sorry. So we'll attach it 2 centimeters from the top, not 2.5. There we go. Remove the tape backing of your flap and attach that 2 centimeters from the top. Like that. And there we go. Finish that in place. So you want to make a mark on the other side, also 2 centimeters from the top, because that is where this one is going to attach. But you also want to be sure that it's going to be in line, nice and straight, with the one that you've already attached. Okay. There we go. So we're going to attach this one, your piece number 21 and 22, about 1/2 mil away from the score line. Make sure that that is nice and straight, looks like it, and then burnish that in place. There we go. So there's that one done. Okay. So we are carrying on with the repetition. We're going to create another money pocket. So you've seen me do the first one, so this one should go nice and easy. You need the piece 23, 24, and 25. Okay. So we're going to make the pocket first. Remove the tape backing from the pocket, and you're going to attach the piece that's number 24 to the piece that's number 25, and you're going to remember, attach it flush against the side, the cut edge, the side, and the cut edge bottom of the flap, like that. Burnish that in place. Right. Perfect. And then we're going to attach the flap, which is piece number 23, and this time I'll attach it correctly. So remove your tape backing from the flap, working from your cut edge, not your folded edge or the score line. Attach the flap flush against the side and top of the bottom piece, and that way we'll get a perfect line up. Right, and we're going to attach this one in place. The other one we did 1 centimeter from the top. We'll do the same again now. So attach it 1 centimeter from the top. Now remember, we have bulk on the side here. So instead of attaching it 1/2 mil away from the score line, we're going to attach it, give it a little bit more gap and attach it about 1 mil from the score line. So your money pocket gets attached to the front of page 4. Give a little bit more distance away from that score line so that your page can open comfortably, because remember we have a flap, and the flap is going to open slightly. You don't want it to get caught, so it'll open nicely like that. Right. We'll just burnish that in place. As you work with your album, as you work more with your album and start to add little bits and pieces to it, it will lay a little bit flatter than what it is at the moment. Okay. Right, so for the front of page 4, we just have a belly band with a flap. So this time the belly band will again be centered, more or less. So let's go let's go 3.5 centimeters. Yeah, 3.5 centimeters from the side of the page is where your belly band is going to get attached. So for page 4, you need the piece that's numbered 26 and 27. I always want to pull that other one off, and then I'm going to regret it. So we're going to line this piece up with the mark we've made, the pencil mark, and flush against the bottom of the page. And then we're going to do the same thing at the top. Line it up with a mark and flush against the top of the page. There we go. Burnish that in place. And then this flap, I'd like it to go sort of down the bottom here. Okay. So that is about 3 centimeters from the bottom. We'll pop it on there. You can put it wherever you want. Want it at the bottom, at the top, in the middle. It's entirely up to you. That's where it's going to go. So we're going to attach piece number 26, and the tape is on the inside so that I can attach it to the belly band and not to the page. So same thing. I'm going to slide it in more or less 3 centimeters from the bottom, and again slightly away from the score line to allow room for the flap to move and open and close comfortably. There we go. That is the front of page 4 done. Right. Next up is the back of page 4, and it's also the last one. So for page 4, the pieces, the back of page 4, you will need, let's see, 28, 29, 30, and 31. Okay. So 31 is a pocket, 29 is a pocket, 28 is a flap, and 30 is a belly band. So let's start by creating the main pocket. This is the one that's going to go on the back of the page like this, okay? So we create the pockets like I've been doing. I like to create the pocket first. There is, in my opinion, no right or wrong way to do this. You just need to work what is comfortable and what works for you. Right, so I'm going to do that. Then I'm going to remove the tape backing. And we are going to attach the pocket. Remember, we work from the cut edge first. So I'm just going to put my piece of paper so I can see. It makes it easier for me to see what I'm doing. There we go. Right, so this is going to lay flush against the cut edge like that, and flush against the bottom of the page like that. And in theory I should have my little gap, oops, gone skew. I should have my little gap by there, which I do. Okay, there we go. So I have my 1/2 mil gap away from my score line, and I have my pocket in place nicely. Just give it a bit of a burnish, make sure everything's attached. Right, this pocket, so we've attached piece number 29. It has a flap, which is numbered piece number 28. That is going to go at the top. I'll just move my little piece of white paper up so I can see what I'm doing. Remove the tape backing from your piece that is numbered 28. And this one gets attached flush against the top of the page. and flush against the left side cut edge. And if my measurements were correct, I should again have my little space here. Now again, because I haven't rounded the corners, it might catch a little bit, but that doesn't matter. I will again round these corners. So that gives me that flap like that. Okay. So I want something, because I'm worried about the flap taking on some damage, even if I'm going to round the corners, I wanted something to keep it flat. And that's why we are going to create a belly band with a pocket. And we will put a tag in here that will keep this from getting too much abuse from the back page. Okay, so the belly band, your number 30. I think let's attach the pocket to number 30 first. So let's make this first. So this is going to attach to your belly band like that. So number 31 is going to attach to number 32, to number 30. Again, we're going to make the pocket first, so you can remove your tape backing. And then attach the pocket to the bottom of the belly band numbered 30. So this is going to attach flush against the sides, both sides, and flush against the bottom. You just want to get it on nice and neat with no overhang. Right. There we go. And now we're going to attach this belly band to this pocket. And I would like to have it centered. So if I measure like this, this is 15, I think it's 2.5, yep. So 2.5 from the left. We're going to attach the belly band. I find it easier if I'm going to work this way. So the belly band needs to go flush against the bottom and line up with my 2.5 centimeter mark. Obviously I can't measure today. Right, so remove the backing, tape backing from the bottom part of your belly band. And let's get that in place first. So flush against the bottom. It's way away from my 2.5 centimeters. That looks better. Flush against the bottom. So there we go. So we've got that in nicely. Now we can take the top one and attach that in place. Let's do that. Make sure I've got it lined up with that 2.5 centimeter mark. And then I've got it in reasonably straight. I really can't measure today. Way off. Okay, then just take off any pencil marks. There we go. Okay, so the tag that goes inside here will keep this closed. So that I'm just going to run through the album with you one more time, and then we will quickly cut and make the inserts for everything. So your inside front cover has your stacked pockets. I did not number them. Maybe in the instructions I'll make them A and B. Then we have a flap. That's your piece number 5, and another flap and another flap. That then opens up like that. We have a side loading pocket. We have a little money pocket here that opens that way. Then we have a belly band. Then on this side we have another side loading pocket with a belly band. We have a waterfall envelope, which opens up this way. Then there's a little flap with a pocket, another side loading pocket. Then here we have some more flaps, this flap this way, and these two open up. It's just a bit of repetition. Another money pocket, so we can get something else in there, opens up. And then we have a belly band with a flap, another little something. And then at the back of page 4 we have another pocket with a belly band and another pocket. Okay, So let me quickly run through help make the inserts for this album. Right, you should have cut all your inserts according to the cutting guide and labeled them A, B, C, D. So I'm going to quickly run through where they go, or where I've put them. You are welcome to put them in a different place. So your first insert, A, will go down here. Then I have two tags. B goes the full length of into your stacked pocket, so it'll go, once your paper's in, it'll slide in nicely, goes there. And C is another tag that's just going to slot in behind your insert A. Then we'll open up, and then in my example I made a little bumper over here for insert number D, which will go inside here, right? Then for insert E, it's a little booklet that's going to slide into the side loading pocket like that. So when you decorate it, it then forms part of your flaps. Then inside the money pocket, it goes piece F. You can either leave it as it is or turn it into a tag. It's entirely up to you, but that will slide in to that pocket like that, right? Then behind your belly band, piece number G will slide in. You could make it that it's another flap. Or you could even make an extra flap to go in here as well. You don't, you could have both. It's entirely up to you. Okay, let's just pop that back there. But you're not restricted with my ideas. You can always add to it. Then your piece H goes inside, folds closed inside this pocket. And then I is the flap that goes over the belly band like that. Okay. Then we have the waterfall pocket. We've got nothing there. Then this flap, there's nothing. Then in this pocket, we put the insert labeled J, slides in there. That opens up. Then again, here are the two pieces. And again, I made a little bumper. So if you haven't made that bumper, I suggest you don't put these inserts in. This will be K. The insert that goes in there is K. In this money pocket, again, there's L. Again, you can then choose if you want to make it a tag or keep it as is. So your insert L goes into that money pocket. Then we have this flap and a belly band, and your insert M goes behind here. I got it right? Yes, I have. And then inside this big pocket at the end goes the insert labeled N. Goes inside there, and then we have a tag insert labeled O, which then becomes the closure for this flap. Once you've got your paper in, once you've put paper, everything will slide in a whole lot easier. So that's going to go over there, and then that keeps this flap closed so that you don't do up too much damage here. I think just one thing I need to mention, I think it's important that you do round the corners on the money pockets, because you can see just with this little bit that my corners are taking a bit of a knock. So I think for the money pockets that it would be important that you round the edges of those. Right, so that is the album created. I will attach a little video of how I run through of how I've embellished. It's not a step for step on how to embellish. It'll just give you an idea of what I've done with our paper. Right, I hope that you've enjoyed the project, and I look forward to seeing what you do with yours. Hope you'll post some of what you do on Facebook and just tag in onto our Scrapworx page. Thank you very much for participating and for watching.